Well, you spoke earlier, you beginning, you spoke of grants.
Yes.
Most grants, how does one go about first off, finding grants?
That is probably the most difficult part about grants there is. And that's a good question, though, because a lot of people think that when they hear grants, you just open up a book, grab a grant off the shelf, and I start filling it out, and I apply, I get money. It's a very tedious process. And had taken a grant writing class at the University of Alabama, and one of the things that they train you when you get ready to write grants, you have to do research. Find out something about the person you're writing the grant to, because there are certain things that people give money for. And if you're writing a grant for downtown redevelopment infrastructure, but their focus is on they want to have pets that are taken care of. Well, why are you writing this grant for that purpose? Find out something that is close to their heart and making sure. So if there's some grants, like there's a T-Mobile grant, a hometown renovation redevelopment grant, well, that seems like that falls right within our wheelhouse of what we're trying to do downtown. We're trying to redevelop our downtown and provide money in structure, buildings, fixing up some of the planters downtown and so forth. Well, we would write that grant with that. But you have to look at certain grants and do your research to find out when they open, when they close. They don't all open at the same time. They don't all close at the same time. And so you just have to go on certain websites and look them up. And I would say just start looking up some of the different grant foundations and individual organizations that give out grant funding. Some of them might be $1,000. Some of them might be 10,000, 50,000, 100,000. But the more you're asking for, you typically, the more difficult that grant is. And they ask for a lot of information, and especially if you're applying for government grants that really give you the type of money, like that USDA grant. When we got finished with it, we needed a vacation. We were tired. I mean, there's a lot of information they ask for, and you have to be able to have that information, but you have to have all of your paperwork together. You have to be a 501c3. You have to have your SAM registration, which is a system award management system, and you have to do that and make sure you're in that system. And then they do their background checks on you to make sure that you are doing what you say you're going to do, or you are who you say you are. And so it alleviates a lot of that. You're being vetted, and they want to make sure that the grant would be taken care of appropriately. And when you do that, and when you receive a grant, that's when the work starts.
Right.
And that's when it really should start, because you get grants in, follow the paperwork and their guidelines as they're asking. And when a lot of people say, yeah, well, how do we know that the money was spent as you said it was? Well, if you show them how it was supposed to be spent, because it's invoices. They don't just say, oh, you got this money. Here's the money. No. Once you get awarded the grant, you have to provide them invoices for what was done, and then you apply for that portion of the money. You send that in, then they send you the money for that. Then you send the next invoices for the rest of it, and it's usually about 3 stages. And when you do that, all of it was spent. And so you can show people, well, here's the invoices for all of the work and all of the contractors that were hired, and that number should add up to this number.
Right.
Simple.